Property of material can be physical or mechanical, and now we are talking about physical property, which is, for example, brass is yellowish in color, steel is heavier than aluminum, and you can see cast iron has a different kind of texture, and you can see, for example, cast iron on the right side of the picture. Mechanical property can be actually telling a little bit more. Heat treated steel is very hard. Copper means can be with different kind of alloy. Brass is used in bearings because it's softer than steel and so on. Once we are talking about mechanical properties, we have to deal with both properties referring to heat treatment, temperature, hot and cold working, and annealing elements. Here it is, and we have to know these 5 different kind of properties: hardness, ductility, toughness, tensile strength, and machinability. So first one is hardness. You can see what is harder, and I'll to read definition. Hardness is the ability of the metal to resist penetration and plastic deformation. So you can see penetration, whatever is harder penetrates into material which is softer. And you can see harder material can make scratches into softer material, and you can see even actually emery paper on the right side too. Once you are talking about ductility, is ability of metal to be deformed permanently without breakage. And on the bottom you can see picture when you have some flat bar, it was bent 180 and it's making some U shape. If you have no ductile material, for example, you can have some of the blades from the hacksaw, you can see that once you put a certain tension or bend, it breaks. If you are talking about toughness, toughness is the ability of material to withstand shock and impact without breaking or shattering. This is true about chisel. You can see that chisel has to have so many pounding, and you would like to have final application that it doesn't shatter or break. Once you have tap, this would be having some kind of problem, because once you hit it, means it would be actually broken. Tensile strength is ability of metal to withstand pull without breaking. And by the way, you can have a delphi rope, or you can have samples. You can see on the right side. What you do means you are pulling material apart and you are checking when it breaks, and value is in pounds per square inch. We'll be talking about that close to the end of the session. Once you have a meshability measure the easy with which you can cut or shape the metal. So if you have a hard metal, you can warm it up, like I'm talking about steel, and you can take hardness from metal and you can machine it, and after you can put it back to the hardness again. Once you are talking about, for example, about copper you're going to bend, you have to warm it up with a torch, for example, and put it into the water, you quench it, and it becomes softer. It's interesting, it's opposite of the steel. Lead, it is in material which is in steel and is improving meshability. Once you are machining the shaft, which is actually lead steel, you can see the chips are flying easier from the metal, and it gives you pretty good finishing.